Hey Kendra, it's Mike with Real Life Photography. Thanks for sending over a few images. I hope I can help you make your decision on which presets might fit your photographs. This specifically, I'll start off with the Sven presets, and depending on how long it takes to tweak or whatever, I might try a few other ones. I own a ton of different presets, but the Sven presets just seem to be my favorite for the past several months. So without further ado, we'll get started. I'll start with the first image here, and I go ahead and apologize that my kids are running around like madmen this morning, so if they start getting a little crazy, I'll pause the video and try to calm them down. Alright, so the first one here. So Sven 1 seems to be pretty much really my favorite out of all of them. I'd say after that is probably 3 or 4. So I'll try to use a variety of the different presets depending on what the image looks like from the start. So with one click, you can see that it really brightened up the reds in the photograph, and I really like it. All the presets are kind of film emulation, so you do get some grain, but you can quickly get rid of that if you just go down here and get rid of it. So the way I usually like to start this off is just to go ahead and apply several different presets. Alright, so that was the first pause. I'm sorry. Let's look at number 2. Number 3. Number 4. 5. Which I kind of like number 5 on this image. 6 has a lot of blue in it, and I don't use it very often, but sometimes it works pretty well. 7. It's nice. And then 8. 8 has kind of a rusty matte added to it as well. Then you get some black and whites. I have my own workflow for black and white, so I just kind of stick to that, but I'll show you them anyway. These are all with, just like I said, one click. So if I was going to choose for this particular image, I think I would go with 3. And I like the green in this image. I might up the contrast just a little bit, and then take the luminance of the orange up just a little bit. And I would leave it basically right there. Where I think the Sven presets are unrivaled by most is their ability to retain decent skin tones. You'll see in some of the other film emulation presets that the skin tones kind of get pretty orange, and it's, I don't know, you have to end up doing a lot of tweaking. What I've found with the Sven presets is you don't have to do as much tweaking with the skin tones. So that you can see that this gets kind of dark, we can lighten up the exposure a little bit just to see what it's going to be like. That one's actually a little bit lighter already from the get. 4 is just a little too much for me. Let's look at 3. I like 3 again. And 8. So I think, let's look at 2 and 3. Back to 1. Alright, so I think 3 is going to be where it's at for me. I'm going to go ahead and sample because her shirt was gray. And that's a little bit too orange, but we can drop down the orange slider a little bit and see if that helps. And then I'm going to add a little bit of exposure. Drop some of the highlights down. And for this image, I most likely would leave the green for this image, but that's what it looks like without. We'll go on to the next. So a nice landscape shot. I would love to know where this was taken. It's gorgeous. All right. Look at 1. 2, 3 is nice. I like 4 too. 5 might work. That one's too blue. 6 is too blue for me. 7 might have a little bit too much yellow. And 8's nice. So actually I think I'm feeling, it was 4. Yeah, I like 4. I might tweak this around a little bit. Just to see, just to play with it a little bit. Take out some of the blues. Just don't like my blues to be too overpowered. Here. And maybe I would dodge this just a little bit. Just add a little bit of exposure. I think I'll drop it down actually to about 32.32. And I would leave that probably about where it is right there. I realize that editing is all subjective, and I mean everybody has their own look that they want. It just so happens like this particular pack of presets just works for me, and I really like how they end up. So I'm just quickly going over these to see which one jumps out at me, and I think 1 is probably my favorite here. A little bit of contrast there. Oops, sorry. And I'm sorry about the background noise. The kids are playing in the hallway. So there's that one. I like that one as well. Alright, so we have plenty of time here. I think we've went only to about 7 minutes for it. So I'm going to do a couple of other presets on just a couple images. So you were talking about VSCO. I think VSCO's pack 5 is probably one of the most popular ones. You can see here, this is Agfa Vista. It's super saturated. This is gorgeous, but sometimes it's a little bit too much. You can drop the vibrance down just a little bit and tweak it that way. The orange in her face is a little too overpowering, but you can drop the saturation down a little bit as well. And that looks nice as well. It does have some grain. You can take it out, leave it in, whatever you feel like. Another popular preset within this pack is Kodak Gold. It's pretty popular. You can see with one click it looks pretty well. Like I said, I would just continue to adjust the oranges. The oranges are always going to be the ones that you have to adjust the most for skin color. And then you have a few other. Ultramax is nice, and even Ektar is pretty nice too on occasion. Sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes it does. So it's a little bit too much orange on her face, but you can drop it out. And you can do this with a brush too in Photoshop if you're really liking all the vibrancy on the flowers, and you just really want to isolate it. You can do all that adjustments in Photoshop. I just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just doing real quick. Alright, so let's take a look at this one. Reset it back to base here, and I'll show you Agfa Vista. You have to drop out those blues on that because the gray was turning pretty much blue. Maybe add a little bit of that. Drop a little, maybe too much there. More contrast, and then that's nice as well. The good thing, the VSCO presets are fairly cheap, and then so is Finn's presets. So the conversion rate, I believe it's about $45, $46 for the pack, where I think VSCOs, somewhere around that area. I can't remember. It's been a while since I purchased a VSCO pack. I would personally stay away from packs 2, 3, and I think that's it. 1, 5, and 6 all have really nice stuff in them. Let's take a look at some of the other Tribe Archipelago presets. So here's the newest LXC. I don't know if you've been tracking LXC at all. Here's the first LXC, which is nice. Have kind of a matte grainy look. LXC03 was probably my favorite, but in this image I think it would actually I would go with LXC02 from that pack. But the newest ones are nice as well. I think they worked on their skin tones a lot better than what they had in the previous pack. Let's look at 3. 1.
Come see what I made on That's a real couch.
Sorry, we had another interruption. So that's there's some other, like you said, you can go through these. I've spent a lot of money on presets over the past 2 years to kind of figure out what I really like. Here's another a pack by Ryan Longnecker. I think that these kind of work a little bit better on landscape than they do on portraits. See, and I instantly like that, and that's just one click. I mean, if you like the blues, there's some blues in there, but I really think number 1 would work real well for that particular image. Let's go back to this one. Let's see what else I have up here. D&H, I would stay away from that one. I've never gotten them to work right on my photographs. Maybe you can tweak them enough to what you like, but I personally haven't had any luck with it. Let's see what these are looking like. No. Then here's a couple of my own. And tweak a little bit there if you want to add a little bit of matte. You can pull this up a little bit of matte. And that doesn't look bad either. Of course, I'm biased to my own, but I haven't put them out there to be sold or anything like that, and I don't plan on selling them. I just kind of plan on once I feel like they're ready to be out in the world, I'll just put them out there in probably one of the groups that I'm most active in, and allow everybody to download them if they would like, and share amongst themselves. But that doesn't look bad either. So I hope this was helpful for you. I will upload the video now, and if you have any questions or you want to see a particular pack, like I said, I have all the VSCOs, LXC, LXCN, Ryan Longnecker, D&H, Sven, Catch 8, Twyla Jones, Blissful Maven. I've got and then both of the Mastons. So if you want to see something particular, feel free to upload a few more photos and annotate what you want to see in a Facebook message or something like that. But hopefully I've been helpful, and I hope you have a good day.